Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat. I'm a working artist, founder of Create Magazine, and certified master coach. And this year I am celebrating 10 years of self-employment. And I'm also celebrating 10 years of Create Magazine. Where does the time go? Well, today I want to talk to you about some ways that you can reach out to galleries and opportunities without feeling like you're begging or bothering someone. This came up a lot in our community, and so I wanted to give you some practical tips, and this might be a two-part video on how you can start reaching out and putting yourself out there while also, of course, showing up for yourself in other ways. So before we begin, I just want to quickly introduce myself. Like I said, my name is Katerina Popova, and in 2016, I knew I wanted to give this artist dream a go. And so I put in my 2 weeks at my day job at the time. I was working at a call center in Capital One, and I luckily made it work. Now, I will say that it was a really challenging time. And before I even did that, I was reaching out. I was reaching out to local organizations, local galleries, local institutions. I was also putting myself out there to juried shows, juried publications, online blogs, and so much more. And as you can imagine, in the beginning, I wasn't really getting a lot of bites, and it was really frustrating. I felt really discouraged, and I also was very motivated. So on one hand, I really wanted to make this artist life work. I didn't know how. And on the other hand, every time I would get a no or rejection, I felt like, oh, no one wants to work with me. I'm not good enough, blah, 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 blah. Things started to change around 2014, 2015 with the rise of Instagram. And while the internet has already been a thing, we use Facebook and email marketing. I will say that Instagram really did change the way that the art world works. And even today, we see the effects of this platform in so many different parts of the art world, right? It's accepted and adopted by major galleries and museums. And so I was learning on how to put myself out there, and I picked up a few really helpful things that I still use today and I pass on to my clients. Before you even send a pitch or proposal or submit an application for a show, you really got to work on your self-belief. You got to work on your self-concept and see yourself as someone that is desirable to work with. You have to practice. I know it's hard. I know I certainly didn't wake up feeling this way. It took me years of practice and commitment, but you have to see yourself as someone who's worthy of the opportunities that you're applying to, even if you don't get them. Because the other thing is, and we'll talk about this in a moment, sometimes when people get a no or not this time, or simply the juror runs out of space, people get really mad and they send nasty messages and they say my work is better than everyone else's. How am I not selected? We don't want to do that. That's not polite. It's really bad practice. So I'll expand on that a little bit in a moment. But what you want to do is you want to imagine what it would be like to be working with these galleries. And one of my favorite quotes from Gabby Bernstein is, "It's this or something better." So every time you're reaching out to a gallery or a publication or a museum even, I don't know, maybe you're really ambitious right now, or you're ready, like maybe you're at the career level where that is the case for you. You don't want to come at it from a place of desperation or like, please give me this opportunity or I'm going to die. You want to remember your worth, and you want to remember that you're going to be okay. Nothing bad is going to happen if this person says no. And so this has really helped me, even though, of course, still, I just got rejected last week from something. Rejection is never fun for anyone. It's not even fun to reject artists. It's my least favorite part of being a juror. I recently juried a senior show for someone, and I really did not want to leave anyone out. I wanted to include every single student. So it's not fun for either party, but it's part of the process because there's limited space. This is most of the reason why people have to make decisions and not include everyone. And sometimes that means our work doesn't get included. But if you have the identity and a self-concept of a successful person, a successful artist, you know that just because one opportunity has not landed in your lap, that more opportunities won't come. So that's the first step. You gotta get that out of the way. You gotta make peace with the fact that you're not gonna get a yes. And there are so many research papers and articles on this. It's, aiming for no, aiming for a rejection. There's an article about a person who wrote her goal was to get 100 rejections a year, right? We actually wrote about this in our book, The Complete Smartest Guide. So there's so many examples of why rejection is important, because if you're putting yourself out there, if you're showing your work to people, eventually someone's going to resonate with it and feature you. And trust me, I am an example of this. When I was starting out, I had an Excel document or Google Sheet where I would put potential galleries I wanted to reach out to, and I would work on this list each week. I would pitch to a few places. And so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what to include in your pitch when you're writing to someone, whether it's a gallery or a magazine. And so one thing I want to get out of the way is many people feel like they're bothering someone when they're reaching out. But the truth is, a gallery is a place that shows artists, and eventually they're going to need new artists, even if it's not right away. A publication like a magazine or blog is a content machine, essentially. They want to share art, news, stories. So you're never bothering someone by offering them an opportunity to work with you and grow their business while helping you grow your business or your career. So get that out of your head. And truly, if it's not a good fit and you get the vibe that you're bothering someone, it's probably not the good fit for you anyway. So when you're approaching someone, get in a good headspace. Don't write from a place of self-pity or victimhood. No one likes that. Even if you do feel that way, take a moment, go for a quick walk, put on a song that makes you feel empowered, make a cup of coffee, put on a cute outfit, and then type from that place, because energy is transferred and we can all feel it. Then you don't want to waste people's time by writing something like, oh, I would like to collaborate, or I'd like to show my work with you sometime. That's not specific. It's not helpful to the person reading the email. And I get pitches like this every single week. And even if I really wanted to know more about the work, I just simply don't have enough time to reply to ask them to send me the basic information. So the basic information, my friends, if you already know this, feel free to skip along. But it's just from a perspective of someone who both applied places and I receive pitches every week for the magazine. Basic information is your name, a little bit about you, your artist bio is a great place to start, a link to your work, such as your website or Dropbox link, your social media, and your website. Now, social media is another great thing to make sure that you're taking care of and curating, because what happens is sometimes people will send me an email proposing their work in the magazine or pitching it to a show or something like that. And then I'll go to their email and they don't have a link and I can't see any of their work. And even if they attached one image, I'm like, okay, that doesn't give me enough context. So I love to click on people's websites and social media and see, okay, are they professional? Is the feed mostly their art or their studio or their exhibitions? Is it on topic? And I get a sense of if this is a vibe for me, right? And the other thing is, if you write a nice professional email that's kind, that's friendly, and you mention like where you learned about the place. Did you stop by at an art opening at a gallery, or did you, maybe read an article that inspired you with a magazine? It will give the person reading your email so much more appreciation, and they would feel so good knowing that you're supporting their business. And it will also give them a sense of what it's like to work with you. So you don't need to write like an essay and compliment and shower them with love, but just a quick note of something kind and real, right? Authentic, that can help them understand how you got to know them and where you know them from. And just let it go, send it. You don't have to follow up a million times. I know some people recommend following up like within a week. You can if it's a time-sensitive event, like an exhibition that you're having or an opening or a workshop. But for the most part, if you're looking for a long-term relationship, if you don't hear back in a few weeks or months, follow up again in a few months. I think that's totally fine. Or if you stop by, you can always just introduce yourself and let them know that you're a fan of their business or their gallery, and let them know that, if they ever have opportunities to apply, that you would love to hear from them. And maybe they'll even ask you for your work. But an important caveat to this is to never do this during a busy opening, because they're going to be preparing and spending their time and attention on other artists. So my biggest tip is, of course, reaching out is important. And I'm fortunate now at this stage of my career. I don't do a lot of outreach. I will apply for grants or I will send project proposals, but I don't necessarily apply to work with people because I'm happy with the amount of galleries I have at the moment. But if I were to tell my younger self, I would say just keep pitching, keep being in communities, being in artist workshops, being in a membership. We have a wonderful membership called the Create Collective, which is opening doors every few months. So you're welcome to check that out. It is in the notes. And we have resources from both artists and galleries that talk about their submission selection process, how they pick artists, and what they look for. And remember that rejection is not always rejection. A gallery may not resonate with your work because they only show a certain type of work. For example, maybe they only show glass, or maybe they only show abstract art and you make figurative art, or vice versa. And the thing is that every place, every business, every organization has a vibe, even if they don't articulate it and write it on their website. Like, we only take fun of quirky art. You can take a look at their website and their social media and get a sense of that. And it doesn't mean that you don't necessarily put yourself out there to them, but just know sometimes it's not that you're not good enough, or it's not that you're bothering anyone. It's just not a right fit. So keep moving on and know that there's more than enough opportunities for you out there in the world. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. And like I said, I'm so excited to be opening doors to our community, the Create Collective. You can learn more by going to createmagazine.co/collective and join us. We would love to have you and welcome you to our creative family.